Welcome back to Green Sports Zone. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company Jamey Palmer Show, presented by Starnes Barber, where we cover everything on the Diamond Tundra with North Greene Huskies baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Jamey Palmer. Coach,
hey Tyler.
How's it going?
It's going good, sir.
Last week of school, how you feeling right now?
Oh, just glad to get these kids out of here a little bit. But nah, we're okay. Just the opportunity to, kind of disheartening a little bit, I guess. Our season's over with, but it's like a time where you can there's no kids, you can just sit back and reflect a little bit on some things. So happy.
It is a little bit of a dreary day out here today. It's a little more quiet. You don't have as many kids around school now. So as you've had time to reflect on it, you've had a few days now. You had the state sectional series with Coalfield on Friday down there at Coalfield. The same result as 2 years ago. Swept 2-0 in the series down there at Coalfield and effectively put an end to your season. But competitive games, played all 7 innings with a great Coalfield team that had been ranked top 3 throughout Class 1A the whole entire year. Talk about how proud you were of how they played on Friday.
Tyler, we were very proud. We knew going in that it would be a tough task for us to put some runs up and beat them, so to speak. But we played some good all-around defensive baseball. We had a few drop balls, but nothing that really hurt us. But we just couldn't get things going offensively against a good, solid defensive team as well. Both their pitchers threw good against us. I think the first game we had 3 or 4 hits, and the second game we had 7 or 8 hits, something like that. So we just couldn't string any hits together. And that's part of baseball. When you go up against quality pitching, you've got to find a way to score runs, and we just couldn't put any hits together.
You had some big moments on Friday. You just, like you said, just couldn't string them together. I mean, you have a leadoff double from Isaac Gaby that's hit far into right field against the wall. Jake Duffy hits one to straightaway center that if he hits right or left field, it's gone. You have a diving catch by Jaden Bailey. You had a great grab at third base by Brady Malone. Talk about some of those key plays that you were able to see on Friday.
Well, just to see that from all those guys, it just speaks volumes of how hard they work and practice. We know they're capable of making those plays. Even Isaac, I think he had like 6 or 7 putouts there. They were just hitting the ball to him every time. And he made some great plays as well. We'd done a few things with our infield and got some outs that way too. So just overall a good defensive game for us. I felt like if we could have got something going offensively at the right time, we could have put a little pressure on them, and we just couldn't get it going.
You had runners in scoring position a few times too. I think one of the innings ended with runners on second and third too. So it was just one of those scenarios where you tried to put pressure on them early. It just wasn't the case.
Yeah, you're right, Tyler. It's just, and that's, like going up against a good quality team like that, you've got to find ways to, if you're on defense, you got to find ways to get out of innings like that, and their pitcher's done a good job. So, I can't complain one bit. Just super proud of the guys from, where we were 3 or 4 weeks prior there. I felt like the pressure was kind of on us because we wasn't, performing like we should, and we just, and then of course we got into the district tournament and into the regional tournament, and things started clicking a little bit. So, just to make it that far with those kids, granted we'd like to be at the state tournament. With the Lady Husky softball team.
Shout out to them.
That's right. They left this morning, so good luck to them. Hopefully they'll go down and represent North Greene real well. So, we'd like to have been there with them just to say that both teams had been there this week, but, it just wasn't in the cards for us.
Let's talk about the progression of the team throughout the postseason also, because one of the last weeks of the regular season, we sat down and talked, and I think you had mentioned that you just weren't a fundamentally sound baseball team at that moment in time. I think you had a large loss to Happy Valley. You had 2 run rule losses to University High in the same day. I think those happen pretty close to each other too. Pretty tough point, probably the lowest point throughout the season too, losing 3 run rule games like that in such close proximity. You open up the district tournament, wouldn't say you struggled with Unaka, but you were able to break it away late, and then after that things started clicking. You play all 7 innings with University High. You go to the region, or in that region tournament, you're able to beat Washburn in their season as they ended yours last year. Go to sectionals, play with Coalfield all 7 innings. The progression that you saw in the postseason, you have to be proud of.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. Just I can't say enough about all our guys, even the guys that supported us that's in the dugout that doesn't get a lot of playing time. They were looking for different things, to help us coaches out, and of course that's some stuff we go over, and it paid dividends for us. So I mean, just as a whole group, a whole team, very blessed to have the opportunity to see those guys play the game of baseball and enjoy it, and to make it to sub-state. So again, Tyler, I'm overwhelmed and super blessed to be a part of this.
And we shouted out the Lady Huskies. Coalfield shouted you all out on Twitter, and shout out to Coalfield. Great group of people down there. Coaching staff, the players were nice, the fans, respectful group of people. Shout out to Coalfield also. That's one, I'll be honest, there's a lot of places I don't enjoy going to.
Right.
Coalfield is one place I enjoy going to.
Yeah, it is, Tyler. And again, just to give you an example, I guess it was Monday, the Coalfield coach called and offered the batting cage to us, even set up a time for us and stuff. So I don't know if you get that anywhere else, but I thought that was real nice of him to do that. So we got down there a little bit early and got in the batting cage and got some swings in, and they were just very, very gracious to us. And again, good luck to them as they travel on down to Murfreesboro. So it'll be good to watch, to kind of see what they do. So yeah, shout out to them, Tyler, for making us feel welcome.
Before we go into the break, I have to pick on you a little bit too with Treese. You did not let him get anything on Friday, and
No.
Granted, I probably wouldn't have either in that situation.
Well, we had thought about that. Me and Coach Dillon had talked about it, and of course I told the kids I wasn't going to let him beat us. And he and that's no disrespect to him. And
it's respect.
It is.
It is respect. You have to respect a player that talented.
Yeah, I talked to him in the handshake line there after the game, and I told him, I was like, man, it's nothing but respect to you. And he understood. He's probably been down that road before, I'd say. And that was our game plan going in. But, when you've got his younger brother right behind him, he's a baseball player. The Steinhauser boy, I believe was his name. He actually hit a home run. He was right behind him. So, I mean, you've just kind of got to pick your poison, so to speak. And, they're a good hitting team. And, you just hats off to them and good luck to them.
You joked about it at one point when they were going up to bat. You said Barry Bonds is on deck, Aaron Judge is at bat, Mark McGuire's in the hole.
That's right.
That's pretty much what it felt like when you were facing their 1 through 4, even 5 and 6.
Yeah, and hats off to Tyler and Aiden too. They pitched well. They just Coalfield squared some balls up and kind of hit a few in the gap when they had runners on, and I think. I'd have to go back and look, Tyler, but I believe we held them to a lot of those innings where they scored. They just scored 2, and it wasn't
you had 2 big, maybe both 6th innings were big innings for Coalfield.
Yeah, so I mean, I felt like we didn't have a lot of strikeouts, but we made some great plays defensively, and those guys are good down there. That's why they play the game. So hopefully maybe here a year or 2 they can come up to us maybe and turn the tables a little bit. I don't know, but good luck to them.
Absolutely. And Unfortunately, that did put an end to the season also, but on the second half of the show, I'd like to talk about the season on a little bit of a lighter note, talk about some of your favorite moments, memories, and games throughout the year, and cover the team one last time. But before we do that, as always, we need to get a word in from our sponsors first. So we'll take one more break before we talk about those here on Green Sports Zone.
My name is Robert Starnes. I'm a lifelong resident of North Greene County, where I currently reside here with my wife and 3 children. I was a barber in Greenville for the last 6 years, but I have recently changed locations to my new shop in Baileyton. It's at 285 Mortis Hollow Lane, Afton. I'm also a proud supporter of North Greene Athletics. Come see me for all of your men and boys grooming needs. Go Huskies!
Baileyton Drug Company services the surrounding communities of Baileyton with excellent patient care using a full-line pharmacy, over-the-counter selections, and a convenient drive-thru. When you visit us, you are treated as a neighbor, not a number. It's not just our slogan, but our culture. We're investing in our patients, local schools, and community. For over 5 years now, we have established ourselves as an independently family-run pharmacy that isn't driven by corporate goals. We are driven by what is best for your overall health and wellness. We're conveniently located so you don't have to make the drive. Prescription drugs are just the tip of the iceberg. We also offer natural remedies, essential oils, at-home medical needs such as walkers, rollators, bath accessories, as well as wound care products. And coming soon, basic urgent care services. What makes us better than other drugstores out there? When you frequent Baileyton Drug, you will receive professional, courteous, and friendly service that goes above and beyond any other pharmacy in the area. Remember, you're a neighbor, not a number.
Welcome back to Green Sports Zone. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company Jamey Palmer Show, presented by Starnes Barber, where we cover everything out here on the Diamond with the North Greene Huskies baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with Huskies head coach Jamey Palmer. So, season ended Friday at Coalfield. You've had a little bit of time to reflect on it. I want to ask some of your favorites throughout the year. Favorite moments, favorite memories, favorite games, and I'll ask one more question at the very end. First one I'll ask too, some of your favorite moments throughout the season. They could be in games, in practices, bus rides, batting cages, team meetings. What have been some of your favorite moments throughout the year?
Tyler, just to go back and look, kind of where we started in middle of January there, 1st of January. To me, starting in January and ending where we are now, to me, that's everything in between is probably my favorite part of it. Just having a passion for baseball and to see these guys where they were to where they are now. I feel like as a coach, you just reflect on that, and to me, that's part of the love of the game. So, there's a couple games I go to that I felt like probably the Gatlinburg-Pittman game early.
Okay.
We had an opportunity to get 2 wins against a good quality team. I felt like early those 2 games kind of propelled us a little bit. The West Greene games, I felt like we had those, but against a good West Greene team, we let them slip away. So I felt like, right in there somewhere was, things could have went either way, So, and just there's a lot of things you could look back on, and just seeing our guys how they play defensively and stuff. That I enjoy watching that. I'm more of a defensive guy, I guess. I feel like you probably heard it 1,000 times. Defense wins championships.
It does.
But you still have to hit the baseball. You still got to score runs too. So I know just seeing guys make plays out here, diving catches. stuff like that. There's really no one game that really stands out, Tyler. I enjoy all of them, whether we win or lose.
What have been some of your favorite memories throughout the season?
Oh, I guess probably a lot of the boys aggravating Coach Dillon. He's easy to pick on, and I'm just joking. No disrespect to him either. They like to aggravate. Earlier in the year, I was kind of telling them, somebody has to you have to play the good cop, bad cop thing. So I guess maybe I'm the bad cop sometimes, and he's the good cop, and they like to pick on him, or they don't say too much to me, but I guess just stuff like that. We have good special bonds with these players. That's probably some of the best memories.
This is a hard question, too. What's one thing you'll always remember about this team? I know you only had one senior in Jake Duffy, so it'll be hopefully the whole team coming back next year minus him. What is one thing you'll remember about this group in 2025?
Well, wow, that's a tough one, Tyler. I guess going back to Duffy. I feel like when I first took over from Coach Lowe, I needed somebody I could call on, and Jake was the guy. I'd actually send him a message, ask him if he's interested in leading our weight room program. He said yes. So we just went from there, and just to see his leadership, and we've talked about this before, just to see his leadership and as a player on the field, what he brings to the table for our younger players, maybe they'll see something from him that will help them down the road. So, I wish we could keep Duffy a couple more years. I feel like that he was just starting to get where he needed to be as a baseball player. So, but he's probably one, like I said, Tyler, he's probably one of the most improved players over a 4-year span that I've ever coached. So,
looking ahead towards next year, also, we're hopeful that we can hopefully be in Murfreesboro next year. You've got 8 of the 9 coming back. Of course, Coalfield's still out there that you'll probably have down in your sights also, but there's the possibility next year that with the improvement that this team can make, we're talking about a Murfreesboro trip next year.
Yeah, Tyler, I'm one that I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but, on paper, I think there's a chance. I just know that, getting to start a little earlier this time and with a few guys coming in from the middle school, I think will help us a little bit. I just know we've got a lot of work to do, and that's something that I and Coach Dillon have talked about. I know if I ask these guys to put in that work, I think they'll respond. So, a lot of those players, they don't play other sports. So the ones that, that don't play other sports, we'll have them out here working and stuff. So we'll just try to keep it going. And hopefully, Lord willing, we'll see what happens.
Coach, that's all I've got for you. One more time also, thank you for everything this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler, I want to thank a few people.
Go ahead. As much time as you need.
You as well.
Thank you.
Tana Stansfield, Shannon, and Barbie Mullendore. They've took care of our concessions for us this season. Miss Weems, Coach Buchanan, my family. So, there's a lot of times that as a coach you don't get much rest, especially if you've got a lot of road games during the week. So, and you probably know that as well because you're traveling up and down the road also. It takes a toll on you sometimes, and maybe not as tough as football or basketball, but just blessed and grateful for an opportunity to coach at North Greene. So.
And one more time also, thank you to Baileyton Drug Company. Thank you to Robert Starnes of Starnes Barber. Without them, this show wouldn't be possible. We could put it on and entertain you all each week and give you information about North Greene Huskies baseball each week. Coach, I'm excited for next year already. We're only 3 days removed from the season. I'm already looking forward to next year now.
Me too, Tyler. Me too.
But until next time, Coach, that's all I've got for you one more time.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for everything. Thank you all for watching this year's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company Jamey Palmer Show, presented by Starnes Barbershop. Look forward to seeing you next year here on Green Sports Zone.